I have a Bambu Labs A1 Mini, but what I don't have is an AMS. This is not normally an issue for me. Most of the things I make are functional and I have no real need for multicolor. Once in a while, however, it is useful to have a method of creating a second color. There are a couple of ways of doing that without using an AMS. The simplest way to change the color is to add pauses in the slicer, and each time the process reaches a pause, you simply swap the color over in the printer. That will of course change the color of the whole layer, not just the area that you want to paint a different color. Right click or control click, add pause. As you can see in the two examples that I'm showing here. If you want to do something a little bit more advanced and have an effect the same as if you had an AMS, that is also possible, and that's what I'll be showing you today. So this is the example we'll be working with. It's just a small 20mm square block, the letter R pocketed into the top surface, which is then exported into an STL file and looks something like this, very simple. So we will open Bambu Studio, cancel that, create new project, and I am going to drag in our STL file and have a look. What have we got? There we are. So we want to change the color, make the inner part of the R a different color. So how do we do that? What I need to do is make sure everything is set up correctly for the printer that we're using, texture plate in this example, and then for the filament itself, I'm going to choose a filament that I have loaded into the machine. It's just a PLA Meta from Sunlu, and I'm going to select the edit button on the right hand side here, which will open this dialog. Select advanced and then select the advanced item under the menu. Come down here to this box, create a new line and type M400 U1, and that's it. What this is going to do is each time there's a color change, it will pause the printer, allowing you to be able to swap the filaments over. You can deselect the advanced if you wish, and we're going to save this. You can call it whatever you want. For the sake of this purposes, I'm just going to call it multi, select OK, and then close the window. Then from your drop down, make sure you select the filament that you've just created. Discard modified values. And now we need two colors. In my case, I'm going to use the same material. It's going to be this Sunlu PLA, but of course you can make it from the two materials whatever you like. You can have TPU, PETG, PLA, mix and match however you want to. So I'm going to create a second one. So we now have two filaments. Select the item, the example that we're working on, and come to this button here for color painting, and it will bring up a drop down menu. I'm going to select this one here for fill and inside the R there, click on the R, and that will then fill that with the second color. Return. Now if we zoom out a little bit, you'll see that it's created this prime tower, which is added when you're doing multicolor printing to ensure that the color is the extruder is cleaned every time that you change color. It does add a little bit of extra filament to your job, but not an excessive amount. It's quite a very low infill. And that's it. Now all we need to do is slice the plate. Send it to the printer.